1 yoga block, 2 yoga blocks. This is what we need for our postural exercise theme today. Stay tuned. And the theme for today is, with the help of 2 blocks, it's to restore neutral spine. With a lot of occupation or daily habits, haphazards such as constantly looking at the phone and doing this, or the computer, which I'm sure you have heard of gazillion times of how it's causing compromises out to our posture. We need to counter that forward position to bring our posture back. Now, on day 6, I have done a video on body length. That's the beginning. That's the first step on giving us posterior body length. But with the help of the lower extremity to restore a slightly slumped or hunched position to this, straightening up. After doing this exercise, you might feel like you are tipping backwards a little bit. That's quite natural because if you're used to tipping forward, you will feel like you're tipping backward when you are neutral. But actually, you're not tipping backward, you're just coming back to your own center. So here it is, 2 yoga blocks. For now, we will be using 1 only. Now, if you don't have a yoga block, you can also stack up books. As long as the books are more or less the same size, and be sure that the covers are not slippery, that they don't slip off. So hardcover books will be much better. Okay, let's get started here. Now, we're first going to do it without a block, okay? I'm just going to put it by my side here and going to lay down. Right now, we're going to have your hands under your lower back just to make sure that there is a little space here. And from here, you're going to check that your knees or your hips are more or less in line with the rest of the body, that you're not too much on either side here. Okay, now just curl up a little bit to ensure that the knees are aligned. When the knees are aligned, it means that your feet are also aligned, okay? Now we're going to stay here. What we want to do is start to lengthen our back a little bit at a time. We are using the principles of bridging to help us to lengthen our posterior body. All right. Okay, now press your feet firmly onto the ground and gently, just without curling the lower back or the pelvis. So let me repeat, without curling the pelvis, gently float your pelvis up. See my hands here? It can go through in between the pelvis and the mat. It means it's floated up, and bring it down. Again, without curling, we're just going to bring it up. Okay? Bring it up. Put your hands under your sacrum or the top of your pelvis for simplicity's sake here. And from there, you're just going to make sure that the top of the pelvis doesn't touch the hand. We're just going to hang out there for 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly bring it down. Okay, so that's the preparation. Time to use 1 block. So we're going to lay down. Okay, and from here, you're going to put the block this way, like it's parallel with the floor. Above your knees, at the end of the thigh bones. Now, you're going to start to feel your inner thighs coming together, i.e. bringing your legs in towards the block. You will feel gentle contraction in your inner thighs here. I try to avoid using the word squeezing because that's just too vivid. People will end up contracting too much when they think about squeezing. So I don't really like to use the word squeeze, but just think about your inner thighs coming together towards the center. You will feel your inner thighs pushing against the block slightly. Just now we floated off the floor for about half an inch or an inch. This time we're going to float off more. So have your hands under the pelvis and let your pelvis float up. And this time go higher. So look, there is so much distance here and this is what we are going for. Stay there for 4, 3, 2, 1 and gently come down. Right now you are going to bring your legs in more. I had it quite far just now. You can have it like me, far, or you can start off at your normal length. If it's a bit closer, it's fine. But see if you can right now just increase the intensity a little bit by bringing your heels in closer to your sit bones or bringing your legs in towards you more. Same thing, bring your inner thighs towards the center and you're going to float your pelvis off. See if you can come up more this time. In fact, all the way till you are on a slide position. Now interlace your fingers behind, kind of arching your chest here. And guess what? We are going to hang out here. No, I'm not kidding. We're going to hang out here for 8 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And slowly just bring your pelvis down. That good? I hope so. If you feel anything in your lower back, maybe bring your legs or your pelvis down more first. Don't go all the way, probably up to here. But I want you to use your hands to push the pelvis forward a little bit. Because when we bring our pelvis forward and up more, we will get more space in our lower back. Time to bring in 2 blocks now. Here, what are we going to do? Line it up parallel with your hips. We're going to just step on it. Yes, and the extra height will bring our pelvis higher, giving us more length in our posterior body. Now if you look at it, I'm quite close. You can have it further apart, that's all good. Not too far. Why? Because we want to take things a notch up. Basically, pelvis higher so that we lengthen out our back more. Okay? Now inhale, always come up with an exhalation. Have your hands by your side. Push down on the block and just curl up. Opening up the hip joint, you can do a little thing here. Just imagining opening like a pair of eyes. See if you can lift the toes up. That will intensify the hamstring work here to give you more stability. And put your fingers on the buttock dimple or your sit bones to bring yourself up a little bit higher. You may feel a stretch on your thighs. That is really good. We want to stretch out our thighs so that we will get more lengthening, not just in our posterior body, but also in our front body. So bring the pelvis up and you can hang out here for a little bit. And slowly bring it down. Let's repeat this exercise. Float your pelvis up on an exhalation, but this time you're going to do something a little bit more challenging here. You're going to put both hands on your pelvis just to make sure they are stable and they don't shift. Can you just float one leg up, and in this case my left leg, without shifting your pelvis? Just an inch off the block and bring it down. Keeping the pelvis absolutely still here, okay? Have both hands maybe by your side like this. Give yourself a little bit of a press and bring the other leg up and down. One more time each side here. Bring the left leg up. Just float off an inch, not too much, very little. As your left leg goes up, all the weight is on the right hamstrings. Now you want it to fire away. And down. And left leg press down, float the right leg up. And down. This is to prevent our cells from shifting. We will learn to work both sides here more equally so that we will have a pelvis that doesn't shift too much to either side when we move. This way, there is little rotation caused by the pelvis moving up to the spine, and hence we reduce the imbalance in our spine. That would then reduce the compensation of our spine in postural organization. That's a very long chain explanation, but I hope it's clear. Take a walk in the room, around. Walk backwards or forwards or around. See how you feel. Every time after this exercise, I always tell my clients to take a walk, and I ask them to be aware of the body and pay attention to how they feel. And most of them, in fact all of them, tell me the same thing. They feel like something has pulled the body up higher, and they feel like, oh, their feet can stand firmer on the ground. They feel like their hips are more open. They feel a little bit tipped backwards if they have a forward tip, i.e. a smartphone position. This will help them to feel open up in front and hence that tip backward feeling. Now, of course, they would say they're not used to it, but you know what? They like it. They like it because the body knows this is good for them. No kidding, our body is intelligent. Although they're not used to it, they're telling me with a smile because they feel like this is something good. There is change. They feel longer and more spacious. It's just very logical. Too much smartphones, we are this way with our posture, a little hunchback. And here, if we have more space in our hip joints and the back is lengthened out, we will feel slightly tipped backwards, different from this position. It's all good. Actually, we are not tipping backwards. We are just coming back to neutral position. This wraps up day 8 here. I'll see you on day 9. And if you like this video, remember to like and subscribe. Leave me a comment in the section below. I'd love to hear from you. Let's stretch to warm down. No, cool down. Okay, so quite simple. You can find a tabletop or a kitchen cabinet or a wall, but I prefer something that you can push your hands to. Rather than making your palms this way, you put your palms flat and push down into, okay? And you're just going to stretch out. Keep your legs straight if you can. And if your knees are bent, just slowly straighten your knee out when you are ready. And just hang out here. A good stretch to feel long. And that's it.